In today's news, meeting on April 8th on amendments to Marine Industry Bill. Deputy Premier urges House of Assembly members to be woke. Asia Abroad Scholarship Program 2025. Temporary relocation of the ROMALIA Smith Clinic. Government seeking members of Allied Health Professionals Council. Heat season begins in April. St. Thomas St. John gets the very first female chief of police. We have the details of this and much more, both on the local and regional scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
CCT is turning up the heat with the ultimate spin and win jackpot. Sign up for any postpaid plan, Freedom, GoFast LTE, or Fire Fiber Internet, or pay your postpaid bill on time for your chance to spin the wheel and win $1,000 every week during March Madness. And here's the best part. If there's no winner, the jackpot increases every week, making your chances to win even bigger. Not a CCT customer? Make the switch to Life Unlimited. Already a postpaid customer? Just pay your bill on time. Prepaid customer? Upgrade to a postpaid plan today. What are you waiting for? Sign up, pay up, stay connected for a chance to spin to win. Call us at 444-4444 or visit a CCT store for details on the right plan for you or your eligibility to spin. Terms and conditions apply. CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands as well as beyond the region. Happy Wednesday and thank you all so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene in the British Virgin Islands as Premier and Minister of Maritime Administration gets ready for a second round of negotiations with the Governor of the United States Virgin Islands, Albert Bryan Jr., on proposed fee increases for the charter yacht industry. A meeting is set for April 8th with the local community. The meeting, called by the Ministry of Finance, includes maritime stakeholders and industry professionals to discuss upcoming amendments to the Marine Industry Bill. Premier Wheatley is set to have a second round of negotiations this month with the U.S. Virgin Islands governor. When the two met last month, they decided to take another look at the fees increase and meet again this month. Now, last month's meeting, the leaders said they held productive and constructive discussions focused on the economic impact of the proposed fee structure to the Commercial Recreational Vessel Licensing Act, marking an important step toward deepening economic cooperation between the two territories. Although no final agreements were reached then, the discussions were viewed as a positive and promising step, with both parties agreeing to continue their dialogue and collaborate on finding a mutually beneficial resolution. The Premier says the meeting with local stakeholders on April 8th aims to include the relevant members of the industry that will benefit and be affected by the amendments, to also be a part of the discussion, understand the legislative process, and have input in its development. The proposed amendments to be discussed include the Commercial Recreational Vessels Licensing Bill 2024, Cruising and Home Port Permit Bill 2024, and a Customs Management and Duties Bill 2024. Premier Dr. The Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley believes the amendments that are being made to the Merchant Shipping Amendment Bill will enhance the government's ability to regulate and oversee activities involving the Virgin Islands registered shipping internationally. In presenting the amendments to the bill in the House of Assembly this week, Premier Wheatley says the BVI is committed to upholding the highest standards in maritime safety, security, and environmental protection, and these legislative reforms will not only ensure compliance with international obligations, but also reinforce the territory's ability to effectively regulate, enforce, and support the global maritime industry. The Premier says the amendments to the Merchant Shipping Act 2001 are part of the government's ongoing legislative reform to align with international maritime standards, particularly the International Maritime Organization's Third Code. The Premier says strengthening the BVI's legal framework demonstrates the commitment to responsible flag state administration and enhances the territory's position as a premier maritime jurisdiction. Meanwhile, Deputy Premier Julian Fraser RA, in debating the bill, expressed concerns about the additional powers that are being granted to the governor in the bill. Fraser says he is against this move, and he alerted other members not to allow this to happen.
In this piece of legislation, Madam Speaker, there's no pretense about it. The first thing you would notice in it, it says the governor shall make regulations. And even before that, Madam Speaker, it speaks about it says, this act shall come into force on such date as the governor may by proclamation published in the Gazette appoint. So it says that, it's in here. And everything else talk about the governor making regulations and all that stuff. And I think that we need to be careful. And every member of this House has a responsibility to ensure that we don't lose a single inch, not an inch, of what we have. And we lose it by, it comes to us in a form that is, I would say, palatable if you're not cognizant of what you're doing. We will pass this bill, Madam Speaker, and it becomes law. And the Premier who's responsible for this subject has absolutely no authority under this bill. We can't allow that to happen. If you look at the Constitution, Madam Speaker, Section 60 of the Constitution, it talks about the governor's special responsibilities. It said that the governor shall be responsible for the conduct subject to this Constitution and any other law. So even though merchant shipping ordinance, shipping registry, you wouldn't find it in the Constitution. The Constitution would not point you to it. But it also said, and any other law. So here we are making a law that makes this a part of the governor's special responsibility.
And in Fraser's words, he cautioned members to be woke.
Or else we will just be wearing suits with zero authority. And everyone is looking to us as if we do. But we're doing it to ourselves. I implore my fellow colleagues to do what you have been doing recently, which is making legislation that conform to the Constitution. And this is another opportunity. And when we get back here to the House, we'll be debating some matters that will bring it full circle. What is afoot? What they're trying to do to us. We know we need to start now and make sure that we don't continue down this road.
The House of Assembly is in committee making amendments to the bill at this time. The British Virgin Islands Health Services Authority has issued an announcement informing residents of the Anegada that the Romalia Smith Clinic has been temporarily relocated to the Smith's apartment due to environmental concerns that require further assessment. As a precautionary measure, the clinic will be operating on an emergency-only basis while the situation is being addressed. During this period, emergency medical services will remain available. The healthcare team will operate from Smith's apartments, a temporary location, to continue providing essential care. Further updates will be provided as assessments are completed. The BVI HSA said, and I quote, "We appreciate the public's understanding and cooperation as we work swiftly to ensure the highest standards of care. For medical emergencies, please contact us at 440-1646. The agency also apologized, stating, and I quote, "We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciate the public's understanding and cooperation as we work swiftly to resolve the issue." Up next, we have much more coming up. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
BVI, the biggest sailing event of the year, is back. Get ready for 7 days of non-stop action at the 52nd BVI Spring Regatta and Sailing Festival, happening March 31st to April 6th at Nanny Key. Come for the races, stay for the vibes. At the Regatta Village, it's all about fun, flavor, and fantastic entertainment. Enjoy local food, ice-cold drinks, and high-energy performances by DJ Wiz, the 3Gs, and Final Phase. Catch the Makajumbies, explore local art, and dance the night away under the stars. Whether you sail or you just love a good old party, this is where you need to be. So mark your calendars, March 31st to April 2nd at Nanny Key. BVI Spring Regatta, baby, 2025.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman by yours truly, Ron Grant, presents Season 7. Introducing Travi Rose, Creative Director. Alex Lake, Businessman. Sean Black, Cinematographer. Dakari Wheatley Adams, Content Creator. Donandre Millwood, Educator and Musician. Hashim Dream, Entertainer. James Todman Sr., Contractor. Dr. Albert Tompkins, Psychotherapist. Walter Barrett, Author. Rakim Todman, Producer and Engineer. Kamal Letson, Photographer. Roosevelt Smith III, Sales Manager and Hospitality Professional. Leland Abraham, IT Technician and Cybersecurity Analyst. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., exclusively on 284 Media. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redefine yourself through the stories of real-life heroes. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 7, Raising a Generation of Greatness. Voted Top 35 Gentleman Podcast Worldwide by FeedSpot and BI Icon Award winner.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Why? This thing got me one way that day.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know?
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit, I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hot. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. I tell you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all so much for sticking with us. The BVI Asia Abroad Scholarship Program is a three-way partnership between the government of the Virgin Islands, elite universities in Asia, and the private sector that allows Virgin Islanders to study in Asia. The program offers free tuition, 35 degree offerings, 10 universities, and 5 countries. Applications are now open for the 4th cohort of students. Ms. Siobhan Flax, Deputy Director of the BVI Hong Kong office, spoke on the program as well as present students and share their experiences.
The BVI Asia Abroad Scholarship Program, it's a very dynamic program. It was established in 2021, of course, between the BVI Hong Kong office and institutions here locally, such as the Ministry of Education. And it's really, I want to say, the brainchild of Dr. Ricardo Wheatley, who feels so passionate about this program and has really championed it over the years. And we have, of course, now had the first cohort last year.
Yes.
And very excited to say we have a second cohort that just went over to Asia in September. And of course, this program is a three-way partnership, BVI government, the private sector, and the partner universities in Asia, some of the elite institutions in Asia across about 5 countries and 10 institutions.
Beautiful.
And about 35 scholarship spaces each year.
Amazing.
And so that shows the breadth of this program, and we're really proud to see it take shape.
Ms. Flax spoke on the importance of the public-private partnership in effectively developing a robust and well-trained BVI workforce.
It's extremely important. I think it's always good when you have that collaboration between public and private. Of course, the private sector knows what's required for the BVI labor force, more than anybody else. And so we are really proud to have, particularly in areas like tourism, where we have the private sector really assisting us to really pull out the areas that we need to upskill in tourism to, I guess, beef up the tourism product. And so, for example, we have scholarships with the Macau Tourism University. And so now we're looking to add a piece where the private sector in the BVI can offer internships to their senior students to come to the BVI while they accept our students on scholarships. So that's an example of how it really works well, really much like a jigsaw puzzle.
Understood.
So it's a really great partnership that I think hits all the facets that we need to develop the right talent and capacity in the BVI.
She also highlighted the unique cultural experience students studying in the Asia-Pacific area received through immersive cultural exchange.
I think that's one of the key pieces to this program. Of course, the academics comes first, and that's, out front that we want to see students develop and succeed academically. But I think the cultural piece is exceptionally important in two ways. I think just for our students, it brings a completely new perspective. Asia is one of the areas with some of the largest modern booming economies globally. Technology, I like to say, Asia is already in the future. The things that I see in Asia, I've seen nowhere else. Sometimes I come back to the US and I'm like, okay, where am I now that I've been there? And so I think those are some of the things that the students really take away culturally, just to see the trends, the way the world is shifting, because a lot of people say the world is shifting to the east. And so I think the only way that you can get to really understand that is to be on the ground, immersed in the culture, immersed in life in Asia. And I think for me, that's the piece you can never take away from our students. I think that the BVI, there's a lot that we can gain and glean from Asia that these ambassadors, I like to call our students ambassadors,
I totally agree with you.
Will eventually come back and impart that upon the BVI. So, and then there are the small things, they're just the food that, there's quite a few things you can get into in the culinary scene in Asia, some of which I won't quite get into. I've seen,
quite different from us.
I've seen and I've smelled and I've, there's a lot of things that I've seen.
You've been immersed into the experience.
Goodness. So I think things like that. And then from Asia, you can travel to so many different, they're in Macau, but you can travel to mainland China, Singapore, you can travel to Thailand, you can kind of take it all in from that base. So I really think that's, apart from the academics, I would say that's the second most important thing that our students can really seep in, that cultural experience. And
phenomenal.
That's a key piece.
The BVI Hong Kong office offers a huge level of support to students who choose to take advantage of the Asia Abroad Scholarship Program.
It's extremely important. It makes a big difference. And I like to say, much like the London office, where I was based for 10 years, I dealt a lot with our students in the UK. We're on the ground in Asia, much like the BVI London office, to support our students in Asia. We are on call 24/7 with our students. We know that it's a new program. And so it's important for us to be there, and not just for the students, but sometimes to give the family at home a bit of confidence. Yes. Exactly. It's quite far away. It's not one plane, two plane, you're traveling for 2 days. And so we're right there. Macau, for example, where most of our students are, it's literally like going from Tortola to St. Thomas. It's a boat ride. And so we're there with the students. We meet them on arrival when they come to Asia, each and every student. We take them to their campus, we settle them in, and we pretty much, anything they need, that we're there. And we have events. For example, last Christmas, we had the first BVI Christmas in Asia.
Beautiful.
So things like that.
It's necessary.
In every way, emergencies and just on a social level, we're right there with the students hand in hand.
Ms. Flax highlighted the various offerings available at all varying degree levels.
It's quite a few options on this program. Like I said, it's over 30 scholarship spaces. We tend to follow the disciplines that the Ministry of Education identifies locally as needing to build capacity to meet the labor needs of the BVI.
Understood.
And so we mirror that to ensure that we're, in line with the policies that the ministry sets nationally. So I think, some of the key areas: financial services, tourism. We're now looking a lot at medical studies. It's a wide range: engineering, environmental sciences, and of course, those are offered in our 5 cities. So we have Singapore. We have opportunities. Most of the opportunities are in Macau, mainland China, because we have the BVI. Little known fact: the BVI has a twinning partnership with the city of Shenzhen in mainland China. And they have offered a scholarship at any of the universities, in Shenzhen. And so we have that. We also have Taiwan, lots of opportunities in Taiwan. So throughout Asia, we have these spots. And you can study from bachelor's to master's to PhD. And then there's short language courses, which I find that's a very important, unique, important space to learn Mandarin, which you can do for 6 months. You don't have to commit to a whole year. If persons want to get a taste of Asia without fully committing, sign up for the language course.
For persons interested, Ms. Flax highlighted the eligibility requirements. Interested students are encouraged to apply by the 6th of April, which is the deadline. For the full interview, visit all Tweet4 media platforms. The government of the Virgin Islands, through the Ministry of Health and Social Development, is inviting applicants for the qualified medical practitioners and a registered neuropath to serve as members of the Allied Health Professionals Council. The council plays a crucial role, the government says, in regulating and licensing allied health professionals in the territory, ensuring high standards of practice and protecting the rights and obligations of practitioners. The council is responsible for reviewing applications, guiding the registration process, and overseeing compliance with professional and ethical standards. According to the Medical Act 2000, the council will consist of the chief medical officer, 2 medical practitioners appointed by the minister, and 4 allied health professionals appointed by the minister. Ideal candidates, prospective council members, should exemplify professional integrity and leadership with the ability to contribute meaningfully to the council's deliberations. Candidates should possess strong communication and decision-making skills, be committed to ethical governance, and demonstrate expertise in their respective fields. Appointments to the council will be for a period of 3 years with the possibility of reappointment. No member except the chief medical officer shall serve more than 2 consecutive terms. More news on the local as well as regional scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
That's just not cricket.
No sweat, you with CG. Remember my street dance battle against Seamus O'Leapsy? I went on to win the title of Miss Irish-ish, set to perform at nursing homes around the world. Then this happened. Seamus on you, Seamus. Anyway, I was covered. Let's bounce.
Comprehensive motor cover for damage and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Just give me my service. Yeah.
Just give me my service.
Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Orange alert! Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for sticking with us. On the regional scene, the Caribbean is bracing for a heat season expected to begin as early as April, with the potential for heat waves. According to the Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum, while the heat is expected to ramp up in the coming months, it is unlikely to reach the extreme levels seen in 2023 and 2024. Caracoph's latest Caribbean Climate Outlook, which covers the period from April to June, attributes the predicted conditions to a combination of the neutral El Niño southern conditions in the Pacific, abnormally warm waters surrounding the Caribbean, and temporarily cooler waters in the eastern tropical North Atlantic. The forum warns that high evaporation rates, frequent dry spells, and ongoing drought conditions will increase the risk of wildfires in the region. For the upcoming months, Caracoff predicts that rainfall intensity will increase in the Bahamas, the Greater Antilles by May, with the Lesser Antilles and Belize expected to see similar increase by June. This heightened rainfall, combined with frequent episodes of Saharan dust, raises concerns about flooding, flash floods, and cascading hazards. Now, the ongoing dry conditions in the region are also a cause for concern. Caracoff reports that moderate to severe short-term drought has already developed in parts of the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, and the Virgin Islands, as well as portions of St. Martin and St. Bart's. Long-term drought conditions are emerging in southern Belize, northern Dominican Republic, southwest Jamaica, and several other areas within the Caribbean region. As the Caribbean prepares for this challenging period, the forum stresses the importance of continued monitoring as well as early action to mitigate the potential impacts of severe weather and drought conditions. Over in United States Virgin Islands, the VI Consortium has reported that in a remarkably historic move that coincides with the conclusion of both Virgin Islands History Month and Women's History Month, Governor Albert Bryan Jr. has appointed Lieutenant Deborah Hodge as Chief of Police for the Virgin Islands Police Department in St. Thomas and St. John districts. The announcement marks a significant milestone for the territory as Hodge becomes the very first woman in the Virgin Islands history to hold the position of Chief of Police. Governor Bryan described the appointment as both well-earned and long overdue, emphasizing Hodge's dedication and leadership throughout her two-decade career in law enforcement. He said, and I quote, "Lieutenant Hodge is a dedicated and proven leader. She has spent her career building trust, serving with distinction, and setting the standard for what it means to protect and serve. Her appointment is well-earned and long overdue. I'm proud to see her take this step and confident she'll make the territory proud." Hodge, who has been with VIPD for over 20 years, has served in various leadership roles and has earned respect within both the department as well as the wider community. As Chief of Police, she will be responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations of the department in the St. Thomas, St. John district. Her role supports the VIPD's overarching mission to enhance public safety and foster strong community leaderships. While the Commissioner of Police is responsible for the department's leadership across the territory, the Chief of Police manages local command operations, ensuring effective coordination and performance at the district level. Hodge responded to the appointment with words of humility and purpose, stating, and I quote, "I accept this appointment with humility and gratitude. I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me and hope to inspire those who come next. I am committed to serving," she says, "with strength, compassion, and integrity." Police Commissioner Mario Brooks echoed the governor's sentiments and reaffirmed his support for Hodge's promotion, stating, and I quote, "Chief Hodge has the experience and the heart for this job. She knows," he says, "the community, she understands the work, and she leads by example. I'm proud to have her on the leadership team, and I look forward to continuing our work together to move the department forward." Now, Governor Bryan further noted that this appointment is consistent with his administration's focus on promoting individuals who have earned the trust of their peers as well as communities they serve. He said Chief Hodge has broken a barrier, and she did it by showing up every day and doing the work with integrity. This is a moment to celebrate her achievements and to recognize how far we've come as a community. That is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at tweet4media.com, as well as to follow us on our WhatsApp channel, along with Facebook at Tweet4Media and Tweet4BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. This evening, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 7 continues. I'm Ron Grant. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.